What is a cash offer in real estate? Well, let's break that down. Number one, what's a cash offer? Number two, why do sellers prefer cash buyers over the whole lending and closing process? And number three, how to compete with or leverage those offers. So let's begin. First of all, what's a cash offer? It's just what it says it is. You're offering cash, and here's why. What it really means is you're paying full without any sort of loan. It also, the closes can happen in 7 to 14 days. I've done this when I just bought my latest piece of property. I did a cash close. He wanted $600,000 more, and I said, I'll give you, X tomorrow. He took the deal within a few days. We went without an appraisal. We went without everything, went straight into the close. Instead of going through the whole process in 30 to 60 days to close, you can close faster. Cash offers are typically, there's a less chance of it falling through because the financing or insurance, or as it gets down the pipeline in 30, 45 days, you get, unqualified or some contingency comes up. So it's just a fast, more efficient way to buy real estate. Second thing, the obvious reason why sellers like cash buyers, there's less contingencies, less issues. They get their cash faster. They can move on to another transaction. There's no risk of failing on the finance side. And you'd eliminate any of the contingencies of a prior property needing to be sold before you buy in. So many reasons why they do that. And there's some versions of buying cash and also going into owner financing where you can do a cash close to say 50, 60%. They can owner finance the rest. You can get so creative in these deals. If this is not where you're going to be as a primary residence, you want to make sure that you are moving these into an LLC or an S Corp, probably an LLC. But again, check with your tax team before you just make that decision on your own. Your tax team should lead almost every financial decision because every financial decision has a tax consequence to it. So there's so many of you, you go blindly through your whole year and don't ask a tax question. And a CPA, yes, our tax strategists are CPAs and EAs and have a lot of experience. The difference is most of them have masters of accounting, not just a bachelor's, and they have gone for years and years and years in training in the original 4 exams of what is now a grandfathered CPA. So why we go on to why sellers like cash closes, I want you to subscribe to my channel, click that notification button and be here 5 days a week. It's family friendly. Get your kids more involved in real estate. When you're driving down your streets, notice somebody owns every piece of real estate. Why don't you own more? You can do it through a tax lien. You can do it through an auction. You can just start flipping. There's so many ways to get engaged in real estate. And almost every wealthy portfolio owns real estate. So how do you compete with a cash offer for those of you who have to go through the process? Make sure you're pre-qualified, have those papers ready and those documents, submit a very strong earnest deposit. You maybe actually make it non-refundable. Up to you how you're doing that with your contingencies. You want to waive as many contingencies as possible, knowing the cash offer like mine was, it just came in. I didn't do an appraisal. I just went straight into the property. I did a little bit of research because I knew the guy that the loan had fallen out and the deal had fallen out and why it fell out. And I knew he was already a GC, which means he probably already did a lot of the inspections, and I got him, a roundabout way. I got the inspection. So there are ways to do some background and homework on these properties through title companies and just through smart questions. Last thing is you can partner with private lenders if you don't have the cash readily available. Now, the financing on that is typically going to be 12, 14, 17%. So private lenders are going to be a little bit higher. If you can get them in the 8, 9, 10, still a little bit high. But if it's the only way you can get your deal done, get your deal done. Or just partner up with friends and family money. So anytime you do the investment deals, look at your corporate structure to keep your tax basis as low as possible and keep your asset and liability protections in balance. A lot of you just buy real estate, put it in your name. I had a client just recently come in, did over 20 properties in their own personal name, no entities, no trust. Like that is a landslide of a problem. One of those tenants sue, they can open up the entire asset base and take as much as they would win in some litigation versus having an LLC with appropriate money rules. If you have any questions about some of this, I have a gift for you. I'm going to give you the first 3 chapters of my Wealth Cycle book. That is actually the book where I talk about due diligence and risk analysis. And then there is a link to go get it, a 70% discount, My Real Estate is Leverage. How to pick a strategy, how to evaluate, how to look at deals. There's a whole bunch in there. 6 hours of me talking through strategies and a 168-page workbook for you to fill out and document a plan for you and your real estate game. If you have any questions, go to askloral.com, ASKLORAL. Ask a question, make a request. We'll be back tomorrow.